I've got to say, it's been pretty fun branching out. So, I've got one question to ask and one question only. Has anyone ever tried out clones of popular video games? You know, the whole statement of imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and all that jazz. Like how League of Legends copied Dota, every Chinese Call of Duty clone you can think of. Well, in this case, this would be Farlight 84, and its re-release back in early August of 25. Bring along its first-person perspective mode, and if you're someone who has seen gameplay of Farlight, played it yourself, or just seen one of the bigger Apex heads on Twitter talk about it, people will say it feels incredibly similar to Apex. In fact, it does feel incredibly similar to Apex. It just doesn't have any of the over-the-top movement mechanics or the existence of the Devotion RE45 or the P20s. It's got the bones of Apex Legends, sure, but unlike Apex's mobile port, this game actually survived for longer than a year, so the devs behind Farlight are doing something, right? But what exactly makes this game tick? Well, if you don't mind allowing this Peak Diamond 2 Apex player, who's currently incredibly washed right now, to have a look around and see what makes this game tick, then allow me. So, diving straight into the game, let's just talk about the mechanics. It's incredibly similar if you've played Apex. You've got your usual controls of a battle royale: move, shoot, climb, slide. And where Farlight differs in comparison to Apex is the fact that its characters are known as light catchers, not legends, and they have 3 abilities instead of 2. 2 tacticals, 1 ultimate. Ultimates vary, but there are some incredibly busted ones, and, well, to be fair, when you get hit by them, it ain't exactly fun. Just look at QE Dons. That man with a 75% damage reduction is a killer, and he's incredibly fast too. Most of the abilities can be enhanced by leveling up or completing sponsor boxes that spawn all throughout the match to gain extra ability points, XP, and just some really good loot to boot. It's sort of like a miniature control mode, or like a bit of a hardpoint mode. It's quite fun. Other than that, it's your typical 60-person battle royale with teams split into 3 and dropping to a random location with the intent of killing each other until only one team is left standing. What Farlight does in comparison to Apex, however, would be its tertiary quality of life features that in some regards completely outclass Apex in spades. It's not even funny. For one, the gunplay feels great. Who would have thought? If the gun didn't feel good to shoot, then you'd be in a heap of trouble out the gate. Abilities don't feel incredibly obnoxious to fight, and even ultimates for that matter. You can play against a bunch of these ultimates because they have counterplay and they have their weaknesses. And it's something that is sorely missed in Apex currently, especially when it comes to characters such as Alter. Still has a free TP for 200 meters and is a free reset simulator. Characters and their abilities are unique in the fact that you don't really have to worry about running into anything that feels incredibly obnoxious to fight. I'd say the most obnoxious thing there is to fight would be QE Don's ultimate. As soon as he pops his ultimate midair, he drops to the ground like a sack of rocks, and he's not that fast. You just gotta get behind cover and make sure he can't hit you. Matchmaking itself is, well, it's matchmaking. It's not the greatest because there's not that many players on the game, so you're expected to run into a bunch of bots, as most of the lobby will fill out with players, bots, mix of the two, but it really depends on the time of day and or server you're playing on. But where the greatness of that comes in is the fact that you don't run into a triple stack Apex Pred team that fucking shits on you several times over, which is already a billion times better in my book. Farlight's inventory system also works a bit differently. You have dedicated slots for ammo, meds, and the buddy system. Oh, yeah, the buddy system's a whole thing, but I'll get to that soon. Your meds have a cap depending on what level your jetpack is. Jetpacks being the equivalent of backpacks in this game, you don't really have to worry about managing your inventory because, well, it's incredibly straightforward. Depending on the level of your backpack, you can have up to 10 small heals, 5 big heals for both shields and health. There's no Chug Jug or Phoenix Kit or anything like that, it's just purely... Oh crap, I need to reset. Your shield actually gains strength as you level up.
What do you mean by that?
It's like a leveling system. I'm fairly certain Farlight did it first. Would have to get back to you on that, but I'm fairly certain Farlight did it first. And there's even little bits of equipment that you can pick up that grant you various buffs depending on what you carry. My personal favorite combo would be hunting goggles and tack gloves. Faster reloads and informational team shields like advantage passive, but anyone can use it if they have the goggles equipped. Oh, and a pseudo loba passive that can see rare stuff through walls, but it never works. I've never seen it work. We also have things such as rollerblades that allow you extra movement, Life Vest, which grants healing over time when out of combat and drops a smoke when you go down, surgical mask that actually increases the amount of heals you can carry, defibrillators, which double the strength of small heals. All of these things are tertiary, but they do give some really cool buffs, and you can mix and match between 2 of them to see what you can get. Weapons have hop-ups, like in Apex. Yeah, a lot of stuff has been inspired by Apex. They're under different names, of course, but practically the same thing. Skull Piercer exists, Disruptor exists, and Hammerpoint exists, but the weapons don't really need them except maybe the Fenrir. Not the Fenrir, the Burst SMG. You might need that with Hammerpoint because that thing fucking sucks. And some of the hop-ups turn already incredible strong guns into things you don't want to mess with. Pairing well with the fact that they are quite rare to run into, unless you kill someone who had them equipped, or you pick them up off drop and go to town for the rest of the match. Another thing of note is there's one hop-up that I really do like for shotguns, and that's the Dragon's Fire rounds. Yeah, Dragon's Breath exists in this game, and it's funny. It's so funny watching Dragon's Breath rounds. You shoot them with a shotgun, you see them start ticking away, and you just see them panic. It's a great time. There are unique pistol hop-ups for the Duelist Revolver, which is basically the Wingman, or the PV9, which is, you know, it's like the P20s, but it's more like a little pea shooter. It doesn't really do much damage, unless you have something called the Pistol Drum Mag, which turns the gun into a 50-round fully automatic with Hammerpoint. It's incredibly fun, and I've steamrolled a couple of lobbies doing it. Farlight also has something called the Buddy System. I told you I'd get to that. Yeah, I told you I'd get to that. You know how Power World came out and everyone more or less played the ever-living fuck out of it? Yeah, developers for Farlight saw the popularity of Power World and decided to include the whole power system as a replacement for the utility system. It's an interesting concept, and some of the powers that replace utility make for a much more creative style of play, and I feel like listing a few of them out, starting with Smokey and Super Smokey. Basically just Smokey. Smokey are smoke grenades. Who would have thought? It's in his name. That they completely obscure the vision from your enemies. Think of it like a Omen smoke from Valorant. Big circle of smoke, can't see through it, but you can shoot through it. You can use it for multiple things. Healing inside smoke, popping a respawn beacon, or respawning your teammates at their boxes. Oh yeah, did I mention that? Yeah, you can respawn your teammates at their boxes and they can grab all their stuff and get going. It's a really cool thing. Morph Drakes, more their super variants, allow you to become various helpful items. It's like playing prop hunt. That does include care packages. And yes, those care packages spawn red weapons. After witnessing my teammates pull out a Kraber from a super morph, I realized how strong these things are. Then they actually affect your hitboxes. So if you felt like bamboozling a couple of people, then go right ahead. Sparky and Super Sparky are the grenades. Super Sparky just splits off into 5 and they all do 60 damage each. And you can throw these things far, so have fun yeeting these things. Calamurkies, or the Squid Boyos, throw out a giant wall of ink like a Catalyst wall in Apex. Helps for rotations if you have played a bunch of Catalyst, know her strengths, and know just how creative a good Catalyst can be. Squeakies are essentially portable rotational cannons. Yeah, it's exactly what it says on the tin. Super Squeakies allow you to completely control your airstrafe. And Buzzies, I have learned, are incredibly useful. Buzzies are the things you use when you need to grab your teammates when they're in a pinch. Super Buzzies allow you to do this map wide, and it's incredibly strong if you're able to survive a fight, get out of the fight, pop a Buzzy, res your teammates. They get their stuff back, easy reset. And I think that's where most of the utility system really shines, because there is some really interesting twists with Farlight, and that's where I feel like the game has its edge and has its charm. On top of that, Farlight also has what feels like servers that aren't made out of toilet paper and duct tape. Whatever the tick rate on the servers are, they certainly aren't 20 Hz. Something that the Apex community has been asking the devs to change for a long time, as getting downed behind a wall from a guy who's tweaking out on 2 hits of Adderall isn't exactly an ideal experience. And the most important part, the audio actually fucking works. I've had multiple times where audio has helped me be able to analyze and pinpoint where my enemies are coming from, and where they are exactly. Maybe it's because I'm an Apex player, but it's incredible how much good audio does for a game like Farlight. On one hand, you have clearly audible footsteps and the ability to pay attention to what's happening around you instead of running around flailing like a headless chicken because you fight one team and the whole lobby cracks down on you like a sack of bricks. Farlight feels fresh. It does feel fresh, especially considering that with a game like Apex, it hasn't really got a competitor. I mean, Fortnite's a thing, but Fortnite is more of a lifestyle now than anything. So like Roblox, oh boy, we don't want to talk about Roblox right now, do we? Anyway, moving on. Farlight feels fresh, especially when compared to a game like Apex and that game's many faults. I'll still play Apex every now and then, but for now, I think I'll focus more of my time on Farlight as this game is actually pretty good. Sometimes it's good not to judge a book by its cover and give something an honest go just to see how you feel about it. From the interesting character dynamics, the solid gameplay, functional audio and servers that feel smooth as hell, I think I'll be sticking around Farlight for a while. Even if it's just the flavor of the month in the Battle Royale sphere currently, this game has potential and I'd be more than happy to see where it goes. The only thing I have to say, and it is like what I mentioned before, is that little gripe of most lobbies being filled with bots. Once again, that depends on what servers and time you're playing at, but that little nitpick aside, the game is pretty fucking good. Anyway, I'll be sure to get back to doing whatever it is I'm doing. I'm probably going to be working on an infographic or something. Links are in the description, and of course, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you liked anything that I do on this channel, there are more videos like this, more analytical review-style things, a couple of rants here and there, some funny moments. Check out the socials, my other videos, all that jazz. You know what? You guys go have fun. It's been Azura, and I'm out. Toodles!